So the three main things that we're going to look at, I'm going to show you this because I think it's really cool, but it really isn't like technically a part of all this, other than I set it up like I do my prospecting, which was the whole goal in the beginning, because I always forget what the next step is. So I'll have like all these things coming through. So as things are coming up, it has instructions, it's got templates, and then when it's time for me to pull reports and figure out, what part of the pipeline isn't working as well as I want it to, like it's not converting or people are kind of dropping off, I like to have data so that we can improve that part of it. So this spreadsheet that we're looking at is, for me, I'm always like, if I'm, I know you're paying for leads a significant amount. And so for me, I would want to know, like, how good are they? How many of them go directly to you? How many want property tours? Just things like that. And so it just gives kind of a glance. It also, you'll have a better sense of how many you get a week, a month, because it's got the date right on the right-hand side. Now, you don't want to edit this because the data comes directly from Zillow, but what you can do is add a spreadsheet. So if you wanted to add a spreadsheet and pull the information and maybe sort it by date or make a copy and break it down even more, you can sure do that. Just don't edit this sheet or it will stop working. So does that make sense?
Well, when you say you keep track, then how do you know they haven't responded?
That's a different part of the system. So Pipedrive is where we manage, who do we contact next? Where are they in the pipeline? Have they contacted us? Things like that. That's where all that information is managed, is in Pipedrive. This is just kind of a 747 view of what do we think about these Zillow leads. Does that make sense?
And then how are these added? Is it when they click my agent, or is it when they message her? Are they added to this list, or what?
Every Zillow lead is added to this list.
Okay.
Is connected is a My Agent lead. Okay. Now, mind you, Zillow does not, like, how Facebook's like, they'll make any tool that they possibly can to keep you in Facebook. And then if you leave Facebook, they're like, well, don't leave Facebook. We want you back in Facebook. Well, Zillow is really similar, but I was able to scrape information as it comes in to identify that it is a My Agent. It had like certain verbiage in there. So that's how the filters work. So they don't just say like, oh, this is a My Agent lead. They're like, they kind of code it. So we're able to scrape it. So if they ever change it in the future, that filter will just have to be updated. But typically LinkedIn is similar to this, and usually I haven't had to make any changes, and I've had that for months. So usually it works perfectly. But yeah. But does this make sense? Like just from the side of like being able to just kind of look at it and know, this is just about how many leads come in. Remember, Sheila, when I was asking you like, how many leads do you get? And you're like, well, I don't know, about this many or this many. This will tell you it is connected. It shows like the percentage has been 43%. Again, this, I was able to do my final testing. So it starts on the 17th, but from then on out, you'll be able to see like what percentage is connected, what percentage asks for a tour. F&G, where it's a property tour versus a video tour, I thought that would be interesting just for the fact of like, as we move out of coronavirus, it's going to be interesting to see like, does that change? Is that the same? But it's just a really high level view of the quality of leads that come in, because from what I heard, the My Agent leads are the higher quality leads. And so just knowing that percentage, if that changes, if it goes up or down, that would be something to take a look at from a quality of lead standpoint. But this isn't the management of the leads. It's just the, like, is this money well spent, on the Zillow leads? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and there are different phone numbers, My Agent. So that's how I know when it rings if it's what type of Zillow lead it is.
Right, but this is data. So what you're talking about is like the management of the leads. This is the data of the leads. Just so like once a month, one thing I recommend is at least once a month going through the reports and just, and Zoe, this would be totally you. Like Sheila, you're on the side of like, who do I call? What's the phone number? Like, where does it get registered? But Zoe, I highly recommend you guys have a meeting once a month. And this is on, I have a list of like how to process all of this, and that's on there is, but have that sales call, that sales meeting between the two of you once a month, just to look at like how many phone calls are being made, how many texts, you know, because as those numbers go up or down, Sheila, you're going to know productivity, because as the principal of your business, you just want to make sure that you're able to get that time that you need to be making the phone calls. And so it's basically to help you make decisions about running your business. So once a month, being able to go through these numbers is really valuable from a business owner standpoint.